Morning again, folks. You're looking at DAX and a couple of quick scalps on the DAX. It's a 1 minute chart, and you can see both trades took less than a minute to actually hit their targets. 5 pips each, net of spread, and really and truthfully, there was no way I could consider going short on this. I had to wait till the 701 turned over so that the spread went from 600 to 100 points, or 6 pips to 1 pip, whichever way you want to look at it. And then as you can see on the indicators, they were both telling me longs were good to go there and there. I've added the MACD in because really and truthfully I'd forgotten how good it was. In fact, it does have in many times, many trades, it's actually better than my one, but as I've said before, I can't drop my one, but I'm happy to add the MACD, and that way you can also see for yourselves that once you've got this on your charts, how good it is. Another 2 winners on cable, the good old, so the DAX was the Frankfurt Open, and I'm sort of adding that more to my toolbox, as it were, now, toolbox of trades, because I'm seeing the reliability of it, and the more winners you get, the more confidence you get, and the better you get to know these particular instruments and how they move. The other thing I'd like to talk, we've got these cable trades that I'll talk about, but quickly while I think of it, indicators. You'll get loads of rubbish that indicators are lagging and they're no good. Well, you've got to choose the right indicators. They mustn't repaint, as I've said many times in previous videos, and you must decline it or get yourself comfortable with your chosen indicators. And once you are comfortable, then you will realize that all this rubbish about indicators being no good and you shouldn't trade with them is absolute baloney. And the other thing I want to say before I go on to the 2 cable trades is that really and truthfully, there's not much more I can tell you about trading, apart from the fact, from experience, I've realised the importance of trading the Frankfurt and London Open, because of everyone else and their brother is looking at this particular time of day, and as such that's when the volatility is. And I probably wasted 4 or 5 years of staring at charts for 10 hours a day, when really and truthfully the best money, and I should have listened to cleverer traders, but I was convinced that trend overrode everything, and in many respects it does, and I truly believe trend is strongest. But why waste 10 hours a day when you can just spend half an hour or an hour a day, or up to 2 hours a day, depending on how many trades you want to take, just trading that period of time. So remember also that you need to teach yourself to trade like a machine. Treat the trading like it's a computer game. Try and disassociate your mind from the money side of things. Just look at the charts, learn how to trade it. I'm sure some of you will have been a gamer or something and get so good at these things, far better than I've ever got at gaming. But and why not just apply that same mindset to trading, because that's all it is. It is just you are fighting the algorithms, and you are fighting the age-old supply and demand scenario, where eventually the algos or the big traders will force the price against the direction they want to take it, so that there's just no more buying in the market. It's exhaustion, and the trade has to change direction like this. And if you try and get your mindset around that, then you can't go far wrong, in my opinion. So also, you may have noticed in the previous video, I think I dropped the MAs. That's because I don't need the MAs at all, but I've left them on for you guys to see where they are helpful. Like if you're considering a short trade here, then you're touching an MA. It's highly likely that it is exhausted at that stage. It's a good pointer, and as you can see, price absolutely collapsed. But I wasn't interested in getting into this point here because that's after 9 o'clock, and 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock is my premium trading period, as it were. I've had 4 trades, 4 winners. So and this was news as well. This was news related. Every day, check your news, see what's going on, and you know, that also enhances the sort of mindset of what you want to do here, because you know they're building positions ready to exploit the news. We can't possibly know what's going on. They do say there's insider information on news stuff, so just try to steer clear. If you want to be a news trader, that's up to you, but it's not for me. So what did I do this morning? Well, it's been documented that the not by me, but one of these cool ex-city traders, that the 8:15 the 7:45 15-minute bar is also an important breakout bar. He's done the stats on it. So I was watching that for an additional possible opportunity, as long as my indicators tallied. And I could see we'd this high here and this low here are the high and the low of 7:45 bar. So I could see we were green on my indicator, and I could really do with changing these colours so that they tally with the other indicator here. But I could see we'd gone dark brown, so we'd lost the momentum to the downside. So when M1 showed me the way, let's put the trade on the chart. Bearing in mind, you know, you've got these fast moves at this time of day. You know that for a fact because you watched them, if you, in my case, for years and years and years. Then when I get the trigger to go above zero, pale green, crossed above zero on my indicator, then I'm good to go long, and that's exactly what I did. Bullish green bar there, you can see as well, just above my pointer, and got 6 pips out of that, 1 net of spread, 6.5 in fact, I think. And then was raring to go to the short side because we've got this massive downtrend here. When I say massive, I mean 5 minute, 15 minute, whatever you want to call it. But you know, this is where good old-fashioned ascending and descending trend lines come into play. There's that big one there, excuse me. And then once that earlier trade was over, I've also got a high that made a lower low here, broke this low here with that candle there, and that was really the impetus to consider going short. We're also looking now at the 8 o'clock to 8:15 bar breakout as well, although as I said in previous videos, they're arbitrary levels, so I'm not going to wait for the break necessarily, although the guy that introduced this method to me said it's got about a 65% hit rate. So if I add that 65% to my understanding of trend analysis and you know, ascending and descending trend lines and so on and so forth, then I'm all over this like a rash. And the second trade of the cable session, 4th trade of the morning, and 3rd bonus trade if you like, because the first trade is my my day's wages, and anything else is a bonus. So and here it is, you know, we've got the indicator at the time I took the trade was actually against me on my one, which again is why I like the look of the MACD on my charts again. I'd forgotten how lovely that little thing is, and I took the trade. The break of that low was the real reason for the trade. As you can see, I said that once that's broken, we're in a proper downtrend again, and that's what happened. I waited for that break, took it on that break. As you can see, the spread is the gap between the 2 and the entry on the chart, and then took another 6 pips, 5.5 I think, just over 5 on that one, and that's it, you know. So what can I say, guys? You know, learn to trade like a computer game. Try to disassociate yourself with the actual money side of it. Just concentrate on the price action and what's going on. Disregard anyone that tells you indicators are useless, because they're not. They're fantastic in my opinion, so really believe in that. Concentrate on the best time of day. That's the Frankfurt Open and the London Open in my opinions, because everyone and their brother are watching the charts at that point. And try to always stop yourself from jumping between methods. I'm not saying mine is the best. Find a method that suits your personality, as it were, and then if you get a bad day, don't consider changing your method and trashing your method. That's probably just your adrenaline and endorphins and goodness knows what else going through your body, making you miserable because you've had a loser. But look back at all the winners that you potentially had. Look back at the charts and see how well these moves, not necessarily the breakouts, although the breakouts are fantastic. You know, the breakout earlier on this chart as well was amazing. Just here, as you can see, another downtrend. The indicators would have confirmed it, and there was a second opportunity there possibly as well. So although I didn't even have this wasn't on my radar this morning, I was concentrating on the DAX. Then I had a coffee waiting for this to come on, and the rest, as they say, is history. So find a method you like. I recommend you stick to the Frankfurt and London Open, but if your time zone is different, then learn the American Open. That's also very busy, or any session really that has some sort of importance to it. The London Close apparently is good. I'm going to concentrate on that as history goes on, and also I'm going to better concentrate on the American session. But there's no need. If you can earn all your money in an hour and a half or an hour or 20 minutes in some instances in this one session, then why make life difficult? Everything else is a bonus. So I hope you've gathered inspiration from this. It's not rocket science, guys. I'm far from clever. It's just persistence, dogged persistence, and you build confidence from that persistence, I assure you. Anyway, have a great day. Thank you for watching.